Why are there no punches to the head? Is this not allowed in karate? So this comment was posted on a video for another channel that I work with for the Houston Karate Dojo. And the context of the video is, in fact, there's a student who is in Shotokan, a style of karate. And then that student is sparring another student from the local dojo whose focus is Goju Ryu. Now, both of these styles are different from my own personal background, which is in Kyokushin. In the world of Goju Ryu karate, then what it's about and its philosophy, it's in its very name. So, for example, you have, so Goju, it means hard, soft. So Goju Ryu karate is the hard and soft style or school of thought in the area of fighting with empty hands. That's what it literally translates to. So as opposed to something like Jiu-Jitsu, right, which translates to the soft style, the soft technique, right, just straight up soft. That's why you'll find that in Jiu-Jitsu, whether it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or not, but the amount of striking in comparison to something like boxing or Muay Thai is significantly less, if at all, right? So because the whole idea is it is a soft style, there's not a lot of hard hitting. So in the world of Goju, right, in Goju Ryu, there is striking, but there is a hard and soft style. And part of the philosophy is also the approach to fighting and self-defense and training is that a hard surface or a hard, i.e. like your knuckles, they don't hit a hard surface, right? So part of it is that you wouldn't punch somebody to the head because hard on hard is not good. Either you're going to suffer catastrophic injury to the other opponent, or you're going to damage your own self, your own hands. So part of the philosophy is that hard hits soft and soft hits hard. So if you were to strike a hard surface like the head, you would do it open hand, right? Whereas if you were to strike the body, right, the torso or the belly, you would strike it with your knuckles, for example. So, and all of this is for it to be more effective while minimizing harm to oneself and the other. So, and keep in mind, like, a lot of these martial arts are not military, they're civilian, right? And a big part about a civilian altercation outside of the situation of life and death is that you don't want to have to deal with paperwork, to put it simply, right? Even in the area of karate, right? The development of it within Okinawa, the disguising of the fighting within a world where they're facing Japanese imperialism, and they themselves are not allowed to hold weapons and whatnot, and they might disguise it within dance and what have you, and a lot of their weapons are made up of farm equipment and whatnot, whether their shields be turtle shells or their spears be with the boat, the oar, and their nunchucks are actually things that they beat the your rice and wheat with and the barley to break it up. They're tools that they repurposed as weapons to defend themselves. For anybody who watches Cobra Kai, in the last season, as of this upload, the last season that had aired, where Daniel Russo goes back to Okinawa and he meets up with his old rival from like Karate Kid 3. And one of the advice that he gives them is like, if your enemy or your opponent insists on waging war, then what you do is you take away their ability to wield or to wage it, right? Essentially, the idea isn't you don't have to kill the person, you just have like as a means of subduing them, right? Now, obviously, you got some movie stuff going on there. A lot of it's just fake martial arts for the purpose of entertainment. But the philosophy, you don't want to kill the other individual. Like, martial arts and self-defense is not about killing the other individual. It's about protecting yourself, and it's also about minimizing damage, right? And so that's why some of these philosophies are there. Some of this training is there. That's why I believe, as a society, a lot of us have gravitated towards an art like jiu-jitsu, right? Because of the fact that you don't necessarily have to strike. You can wrestle people, and historically, wrestling and a form of grappling has been a prerequisite in societies throughout history as a means of even being able to join and engage in military type of stuff. So just as a pure fundamental, and it's all, and one's ability to take somebody down and pin them down, not destroy them, but like to get them to submit, that has been the epitome of strength in a social structure. So hope that kind of gives you a decent understanding of why is it that some styles of karate don't strike to the head. And just know this, one of the major, I guess, social sins of MMA is the damage that comes from striking to the head, right? It's how much people have to suffer as competitors. Rarely you'll find MMA competitors competing at a high level that are past the age of like 40, because they get busted up. They've been hit in the face so many times. Same thing with boxing. But you'll find martial arts competitors and many other athletics in which they do compete and they do well and they're not destroyed. So that's something to keep in mind. It's obvious. You get hit in the face, you lose brain cells, right? And at the same time, when it comes to defending yourself, you don't need to hit somebody in the face. Plain and simple. That's the philosophy. You might disagree. If you do, let me know in the comments below. And I look forward to hearing from you.